This is a story of how we broke our boat. We were having an incredible time in the Keys thus far. After a night in Biscayne Bay, we traveled 6 nautical miles straight into the Atlantic and picked up a mooring ball at a nearby abandoned lighthouse. Then we snorkeled the reef around it. Suddenly, we were in another world. Scenery like this is the whole reason we bought our boat in the first place. Now we get to discover this beauty right from our back porch. After the lighthouse, we traveled to our anchorage, just west of Elliott Key, and settled in for the night. We had a few nights to ourselves before the 4th of July crowd rolled in. From our seats on the top of Major Tom, we could just make out the Miami fireworks show to the north. To the west, we could see the rest of Florida celebrating too. It was like seeing 1,000 fireworks shows at once. Mostly because we did see 1,000 fireworks shows at once. After the fireworks show, we started our nightly routine of turning on the generator so that we can run our AC overnight, cool everything down so we can sleep soundly. But this time the generator didn't start. We cranked it, but it shut off immediately. We had no choice but to sleep with no AC on a hot July night with no breeze and try our luck in the morning. In the morning, we got straight to work and took apart our generator to find a solution. We thought maybe one of the relays blew, but they all tested normal. After hours of testing in the Florida heat, we came up with nothing and decided to pack up and leave for civilization. We prepped the boat to leave, turned the key to the engine, and sure enough... It died?
Yeah.
This warning light actually helped us out a lot. With both our generator and our engine down, there was only one explanation. Something was wrong with our fuel. How are you today? I'm in a hole. Luckily, we had spare fuel filters on board, so with a quick YouTube lesson, we unscrewed our racors and popped them in.
And squeeze in the engine room to remove our fuel filters.
Anyone who's done this before knows that this simple process takes forever, so after an hour of tedious work, we thought we fixed our issue.
Oh. Open that valve.
Oh. Are we just stuck in water?
Yes.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad, isn't it? Very bad. After seeing this much water in the Raycor bowl, we quickly realized what actually happened. We make our own water when we can with our portable water maker. It's kind of a hassle to set up, especially in the heat. In the afternoon on July 4th, Jonathan set it up and accidentally mistook the diesel tank port for our starboard water tank, effectively adding 20 gallons of water to our fuel. This was absolutely devastating news. A simple mistake that could cost us our generator and our engine at the same time. After a few minutes of panic, we came up with a plan to cut the fuel line to the Raycor and use our oil extractor to pull water straight from the tank. Similar to oil and water, diesel and water do not mix, so over time, the water should separate and sink to the bottom. For the rest of the day, we managed to pull about 13 gallons of watery diesel from the tank into buckets in our cockpit. But it wasn't enough. Good morning. This is not the boat. We are in a nice air-conditioned, is this a Comfort Inn?
No. Marriott.
Marriott. Last night, it was our final straw. Johnny had the bright idea we'd come here at 7 o'clock last night. We thought, oh, let's take the dinghy for its longest ride over to Homestead, Florida, which is directly west of where we're anchored. Find out if we can leave our boat somewhere and find out if we can get a hotel somewhere, and then wake up and find out if anybody has these fuel filters. And so after a nice, good, air-conditioned night of sleep, you know, everything's working out, I think, so far. After 3 nights without AC, we decided to head to land, leave our dinghy at some random seawall, and search for lodging and more supplies. To fix our boat, we needed more fuel filters, more buckets, and a good night's sleep. We're on my favorite aisle, which is the plumbing aisle, which has all the plumbing fittings. Legend has it that the Doerks Adrift crew has spent 4 hours in a Home Depot on this very aisle in Daytona. And legend states that they're still there. What did you find?
The most amazing giant scrapers we could have for the bottom of our boat.
It's as big as your head. And now we wait for an Uber. Uber number 4 today. And then an Uber Eats after. So that should be good. I'm on the curb. Johnny has our stuff. And he's ordering an Uber. He's very good at it. He's had a lot of practice. So it should be fun. After 2 nights on land, it was time to find out if our dinghy was still tied to that seawall. Okay.
First
hurdle of the day.
And it went well.
And it went well. First hurdle was, do we have a ride home? Do we have a dinghy? First hurdle was, do we have a dinghy?
That was so
we
scary.
left it here. We left it on the seawall with the Towboat US people. Oh, and there she is. We left it here for 2 nights. And for 2 nights, we did not sleep because we thought for sure that it was not here. That, like, something happened. Somebody stole the motor. Like, a million things. Awful things ran through our minds at the wee hours of the morning. But she's here. Oh my God. Okay. Other hurdles today include getting all of this stuff, doesn't seem like much really, into our little 10-foot dinghy, and grabbing fuel in order to get all the way back to our boat, which is approximately what? How many miles? 8?
8.
8 miles from here. On a dinghy, that is really fun. That's really exciting. All right, here's what we're working with. That's like a person's worth of weight, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a big person's.
Yeah, maybe.
How fast do you think we can go?
7 knots. Let's go.
You know, not much faster than the boat. Let's go. Let's do it. This place had diesel and gas, so we were able to fill up both our ox tanks right there. So we're essentially ready for anything. I think we're ready.
This is a great start to a really difficult day.
Okay.
That is exactly in front of us.
You think that's out?
Yeah.
You still can't see it. We can see land from here. You really can't. It's a thin layer. We've been at it for probably 30, 45 minutes. 30 minutes?
Maybe 30.
Yeah, not too bad. We can't plane, but we are going pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. And so we can see our boat. It's a little tiny speck, but we can see it. We can see it. Made it! We made it! Oh my gosh. Hello!
Well, hurdle number 2.
Hurdle number 2! Oh. Like that, this little cluster over there, that's not where we came from. We came from somewhere in there that you can squint and kind of see now. Not through this camera, obviously, but oh my gosh. We made it. It's nice and cool on the cockpit.
That's good. That's good.
Got the boards up. Everything's clean. All our tools that we might need, pads, gloves, hatches that we normally need out of are open. Cushions are gone. They're all in the bedroom in there. And yeah, oil extractor is hooked up, ready to go to the fuel line.
Mm-hmm. Ready to pump out some water.
We got a bucket.
We got a bucket.
Let's do it. We spent a few hours pulling more water from the fuel tank until the hose ran red, meaning we hit fuel. We replaced all the fuel filters again and fired up the generator. We got it started, but had to quickly shut it off before water filled the Raycor bowls again. At this point, we had pulled 17 gallons of watery diesel with no end in sight. We needed to sleep another night on the boat and call a towboat in the morning. All right, it is the next day since we last talked. We extracted about, I want to say 3 or 4 quarts of water still from the tank. We still, I think, have a lot more. So that is now turned into a fuel polishing service. So we called around, and the quickest and cheapest option thus far has been actually in Key Largo, which is how many miles south? 20?
Yeah, about 20, 25.
Yeah. This is Lance in a U.S. towboat. We got our dinghy propped up so we can dock anywhere we need to. Got the engine off and tied down. It almost looks like we're going, right? Like, kind of making a wake. Lance towed us south for 3 hours and dropped us off at Gilbert's Resort and Marina in Key Largo. Finally, we could plug into shore power and run our AC. But just like our engine and our generator, when we switched it on, it immediately died. The sea strainer was clogged. So I sat down in the 95-degree bilge and cleaned out the strainer, closed it back up, and then started the AC again. It died again as soon as the compressor kicked on. I had forgotten to refill the strainer with water, which delivered an air pocket through the system and allowed the compressor to overheat. I let out air from a nearby hose, waited an hour for the compressor to cool down, and then we finally had AC for the first time in 4 days. By some miracle, we managed to book Jackson from FuelPro Key West to come polish our fuel the very next morning. He arrived promptly at 9 a.m. with a bunch of hoses and pumps and began the work. Within a couple hours, he cycled through over 140 gallons of fuel, water, and algae and got our fuel tank back to its cherry red self. If you need fuel polishing in Key West, we highly recommend you call Jackson. Okay, so Jackson just took care of us and has left. It's been probably, I don't have my watch, but I think it's been, an hour since he left. We took some time to just come down from all that. And now I've refilled the Raycors again with diesel and put them back in. Right now, Johnny is taking off the secondary filter to make sure that it didn't have any water at the bottom. We've already changed it before, and then we pumped it, and there was still water in our tanks. And so just to triple check and make sure there's no water anywhere going anywhere, we're just gonna dump this filter. This is still a good filter. It's only been on a day, and it's supposed to handle a little bit of water, so Should be fine. Okay, so we got the generator running. It is on right now. When we first turned it on, we get the view here. We first turned it on, you can you can see a couple of the bubbles in there. And you see how it looks brownish at the bottom. So we think in the fuel line, that's the line coming from here, that goes down here, that comes directly from the tank. This probably had some water in it that obviously our fuel polisher couldn't clean out or didn't clean out. Now, we maybe should have bled that line before doing any of this. But, I mean, if that's all the water that was in there, we're in really, really good shape. And our generator is on and running for more than 2.5 minutes now. Oh, it's working. Okay. We're gonna put a load on it so it sucks more gas and or fuel, not diesel, you know, and see if that'll help show us if there's more fuel. So let's watch. Let me know when there's a fuel load. Nothing, Johnny. Yeah, nothing. Just nothing. So that means that if we ran this I would feel really comfortable if we ran this generator for like 30 minutes, check back, and there was still nothing, because that's kind of like on paper what you probably should do. But I would venture to guess that we are really in the clear, especially knowing that we have.
As you're saying that, I was like, what?
What happened?
I don't know.
Well, it's not water.
No. It's okay.
So let's recap what we've learned. Number 1, don't put water in your fuel tank. Number 2, if you do that, call a fuel polisher immediately. Number 3, if you change out your C strainer for your AC, reprime it with water before you turn it back on. And number 4, let's change an impeller.
Okay, here I am in the generator room. We are changing out the impeller because it stopped pushing water through the other day. So I came down here, basically found my way to the back side of this and took off a plate where the impeller lived. When I opened it up, this is what I found. That is not good. It's what it is supposed to look like. All these little veins broke off inside of there. They're supposed to push water through the system to make it cool. And when the veins break off, they cause big problems, like clogging up the raw water feed. So I had to track the hose that was down here all the way through and up, and found this, which attaches to this. This is the heat exchanger that's coolant dripping out right now, and that is the boot that connects to it. And so that heat exchanger acts like a big honeycomb. That heat exchanger acts as a big honeycomb coolant space, and it also kind of acted like a filter to catch these little veins. So got all them out. Now I'm going to install the new impeller, and hopefully we're all good.
So now we know the generator works. What about the engine? Yeah. It didn't turn over. After a few attempts like this, I checked our rake cores again and tightened down all hose clamps. There happened to be a loose one right on the engine block. Then our little Volvo did this. When? Go ahead. Galloping. We had liftoff. For almost a week, we had no idea if our engine would ever turn on again, so this was a huge victory. We sat in idle for 10 minutes, shut it off, and celebrated. You see water? On our second attempt of turning on the engine, there was another surprise. Okay, let's see. Red light, long beep. See technician. Up until this point, we had worked so hard to fix our boat ourselves, but this warning signal left us no choice but to schedule a technician and wait. Luckily, we picked the very best island to be stuck on. So after 5 days of being tourists in Key Largo, we finally got our tech out. How'd it go, Johnny?
It was okay.
Right.
I would have preferred, when we were looking at boats, we ended up with a common rail diesel engine, which is great. It's efficient. But because it's common rail, it's electrical. And then you have to have a computer or a tech come out to actually diagnose any fault that happens with it. It's way more sensitive. All the nuanced aspects of it require way more technical ability than just like a generic mechanical diesel, like a big John Deere or whatever, like an old tractor diesel. So it was a bit tough when he came over and just wanted to plug in a computer and couldn't get it to talk. Found the code, but it wasn't telling the exact problem. And so all he kept doing was trying to find a way to make the computer talk so that he could just get the exact code and didn't have to do normal diagnostic tech work, which is tough to sit there and watch you pay for it hour by hour.
I mean, yeah, thus far we've done everything ourselves. We would have done the diagnostic work ourselves if we could get this dang warning light off, which now we know we can Amazon a few pieces and we may never have that problem again. But yeah, to wait all that time and have someone come out just to essentially turn the signal off and for us to figure it out, that's essentially what happened. Would you agree?
Yeah, he didn't even turn off the signal. It just went off.
Oh, yeah, the signal turned off itself. And we had to kind of he toyed with it for 2 days to try and get that signal back on to see what the issue is and see what the signal even was. And what was it?
It was a high pressure alarm. That's all I could say. Just a high pressure alarm in the fuel system.
Okay, and so what does a high pressure alarm in the fuel system, what does that typically mean? What's the problem?
That the metering valve that controls the actual fuel pressure in the engine is not working properly. It's not in spec. If it was low pressure, that could be a totally different situation, like a clogged fuel filter or something else not being properly in line. But because it was high pressure, that means the actual solenoid that controls the pressure in the tank is not working properly.
Okay, and so you ended up actually taking that solenoid out, the M-prop.
Yeah, Yeah, after he left and he kind of thought he knew what the problem was, but wasn't sure, I figured that had to be the only thing that was the problem. And I took it off myself, and sure enough, it was rusted and was absolutely the problem.
Oh, yeah, there was like little brown
Yeah,
stuff in there.
that's what
Not
should have
great.
happened.
Not great. So now we've got to order a part. This part sucked. We called probably 30 mechanical shops in America and nobody had the part in stock. To get this part in a timely manner, we had to make some questionable purchases overseas and wait. All right. Here's the situation. It's not the best situation, and it's actually the most, of all the stuff that we've been through, this is also contesting as maybe the most, I keep saying grueling, but it is just difficult part of this whole situation. So this is the part that we are looking for. This is an M-prop valve. The other parts, what this actually is, which is an 0928400-616 Bosch component M-prop valve, which led me to find one made in China. This one is from Amazon. It looks like this. It has the Bosch logo on it, made in Germany. This seemed promising, but after further research, we decided not to use this part that I found for $20 off Amazon, because this could very well be a Bosch reject piece that was tampered with, resold, whatever. On Friday, I also ordered this piece, which just came in today, which is the following Thursday. It has been Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday since I called and had this delivered. This is also a piece that I ordered from a website that seemed legit. And then I Googled later in the middle of the night and found out it's also owned by China. So this came from Shanghai. But it seems a little bit more promising. On their website, I look back, and they are an aftermarket, dealer, and they sell legitimate parts to OEM spec, and they have warranties, yada, 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 yada. So, at the very, very least, we have something that we could at least try in idle to see. That's the other part too, is like, once we put these in, is that the problem? Is that the fix? So that'll be us. So this is it. It's Saturday, July 25th, exactly 3 weeks since this whole mess started. And what do we have to show for it? Well, in that time, we tested our limits. Through each day in the summer heat, each sleepless night, and in every test in between, we found a way to face things head-on together. We came to the Keys searching for paradise, but now we know that paradise is what you make it. Every obstacle and every hour spent in the bilge makes days like today worth celebrating. Our little engine part all the way from Shanghai brought our engine back to life and let us travel over 4 hours south to an anchorage near Plantation Key. We might not know what the future holds, but now we know we're ready for anything.